Everything looking good. Everything sounding good. Oh shit. Tighten that so my microphone doesn't fall off my desk. Kombadu. So, I literally forget what I was doing in this game last. I know that we were thinking about doing the Cactar minigame, and then I realized upon doing some Googling that you don't get anything good for doing it, and if you don't get anything good for it, and we're not trying for the 100% completion, there's just really no point in doing it, because it's not a fun minigame. So, we're not doing that. We are grinding. Oh, that's right! That's right. We are grinding. Huh, did I forget to make an actual save? Before I quit? Oh, well, thank God for autosave then. I didn't even realize that. See, this is why I save so paranoid-like all the time. Because my brain is mush. Like, in spite of how, like, crazy I am about constantly saving, constantly, all the time, over and 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 over. Oh, that's right, the cave didn't have a save point. Well then, if the cave didn't have a save point, why'd they put an autosave in it? That is weird. That kind of defeats the purpose, you know? If the whole point is that you're supposed to do it like a gauntlet, why make it so that it can autosave? Well, they probably weren't really... When they implemented the autosave in the HD remaster, they probably weren't very, like... thorough. You know? I've already made my, my feelings about the quality of the, HD remaster kind of clear at this point. Active link! We are not going to go there. Oh yeah, and then Bavel didn't have anything. So then we went to the, Nagi... I don't remember if I ever did figure out what the fuck that kanji says. Hagen. Plain, moor, or prairie. Okay, so... basically means exactly the same thing as what it's called in English. Okay, so that's good to know. Would it be a good place to go for level grinding? I don't know. Seems like it's a bit higher level than some of the places we've been going to, difficulty-wise. So let's do Gagazet and Xanarkand first, and then we'll go there. We'll see how it goes. And seeing this reminded me that we do technically still have to go to Bavel, even though there's nothing to do there, because we have to watch him put that stupid fucking sphere on the ground.
来てはいけない。ロンゾの若者たちは力で恨みを晴らそうとしている。ガリク率いる若者たちがグワドへの復讐を決意した。ガリクは戦を始めるつもりだ。御山に報告するため山頂に向かっている。
ロッキーに待ってていいの？
ガリクが御山の声を聞き、考えを変えてくれればいい。ひまりはそう考えている。
考え直さなかったら？
ひまり一人でも止める。
無茶だよ。
決まりは論女の長老だ。言うな、渡したいものがある。
That's a sphere in your hands.
本山を
Are
探
you
し
giving
回っ
it
た
to
が
me?
これしか見つからなかった。
Oh, what are we?
ユー
What's,
ナが
what's
探
gonna
してい
be?
るスフィアか決まりにはわからない。
Also, why is that lady just
少
standing
し
in
で
the
も役
background?
立てば決まりは嬉しい。
Doris Sphere. Oh, which one is this? I listened to that Akira Yamaoka selected hits video. I'm still like, why have you not pointed out that a lot of that is stuff I listened to? I try, I mean, some of the music literally being in Macro Blank-esque video. Well, that's the thing. I didn't know any of that. I didn't know his music was used in any of those things. I just tried to bully you into listening to his music because the things I appreciate about his music are the same things that I appreciate about the Dragon Card soundtrack. And I knew you were a very big fan of the Dragon Card soundtrack, so I was like, hey, you should go listen to this other person, the music from the Silent Hill franchise, because it reminds me of music because the music in the Silent Hill franchise kind of reminds me of the music in the Dragon Guard franchise. So if you like music in the Dragon Guard franchise, you might like music in the Silent Hill franchise. Funny thing is, it's none of those tracks I'm into. It's more of the chill vibes. I can understand that because like all the chill music in the Silent Hill games. Hold on, I'm gonna find out what this thing says real quick so that I can actually play while I explain myself. Chomeshi? Oh, is this the Beast Tamer one? That would be the Tamer dress sphere. Yuna having Yojimba's dog is the best. Yuna finally turns into a white woman with this. White girls fuck dogs, they fuck 'em. White girls fuck dogs, they really fuck 'em. White girls fuck dogs, white girls fuck dogs, white girls fuck dogs.
まずいよユーナ。
まだ間に合う。ガリクたちを追うか。
They spread whipped cream on their genitals to get their dog to lick all inside their holes. White girls fuck dogs. Fuck 'em. White girls fuck dogs. Apollo! Stop! I'm sorry, it's genuinely a really catchy song. Okay. Well, I guess for the lulz, we do have to. We're gonna remove the Berserker from Yuna's result plate and replace it with the Dogfucker dress sphere. Where'd it go? Where is it? Is this it? Yeah, that's it. Chomeshi. It's weird because, like, if maybe the kanji didn't copyright. It looks like it's. Oh no! Wait, no, it definitely fucked it up. But even then, that still only explains. Wait, the kanji that did copy correctly is the one that I'm the most confused about. The one that it got wrong actually makes sense because it's... Okay, whatever, I don't... Anyway, I know what it is now. It's the Beast Tamer one. Wait, no. We're gonna set her to a different one because we want to watch the animation as we go into battle. Another kanji I recognize by shape. Yes, that's a kanji for mountain. Digimodify, Billy Jiggle activate. Wee. I need to actually like sit down and play with like the settings in what's it called? VTube Studio. Cause like I know that like I can like modify more stuff. Hi Anthony, how are you? I know I can modify more stuff so that I can like make myself move in different ways. So I really need to like look into all the whack shit I can do. Okay. How about you? What you gotta say? Garik tachi wa... Okay, this is a fairly simple sentence. I can actually understand what you are saying. You are saying Garik and their group, Garik Tachi, Garlic and, you know, whoever's with him right now, went to the mountain. I'm assuming that means like the summit of the mountain, or, you know, because like I have a feeling that we have to go all the way to the end of this map, so I'm assuming that's what she's talking about. Okay, so what was I talking about before we got distracted by me singing White Girls Fuck Dogs? Oh right, Akira Yamaoka. I totally get being like really into his chill music as opposed to his horror music, because the thing, like the style of his quote unquote chill music, like the chill music in the Silent Hill games, it's lo-fi hip hop. Like that's what it is. Like before YouTube ever popularized it, like Akira Yamaoka was making what was essentially lo-fi hip hop for his horror game, because like the sort of, you know, glitchy, decayed sound that it has makes it so that like even though it's chill and, you know, not necessarily scary, there's still like an aspect of it that feels wrong. And like with a game that's, you know, like Silent Hill, you kind of need that, you know? And so, you know, now that that genre has become tired from working, I feel dirty and not in the good way. I know how that feels. My last job, every time I was done working, it's like the first thing I had to do was take a shower because I felt disgusting. I kind of felt that way when I got off of work from my last shift, just because I was on cleanup duty because a lot of things that were supposed to be happening were not working, and so I had to do a lot of cleaning, and the cleaning is a lot more physically intensive than what they usually have us doing at my new job. Like, my new job is a lot less physically intensive than the stuff I've been doing up until recently. But then having to go around and clean a whole bunch of bullshit, that was more physically intensive than the stuff I've been doing at the new job, so. I don't know if I would say it's lo-fi, it's missing some component. I mean, well... the way he does it is probably going to be a bit different from like a lot of lo-fi hip-hop that people are used to hearing these days, because I don't know, it's just the stuff he did for the Silent Hill games is all pretty old by this point, if we're gonna be honest. Well, it's specifically if we're talking like the Silent Hill games where people like them. I haven't listened to a lot of his more recent Silent Hill soundtracks, but I've also heard that he's kind of phoning it in on a lot of the more recent Silent Hill soundtracks. But just because there's like been a decent period of time between like when he made those songs and most of the songs that people think of when they think of lo-fi hip-hop these days. It's like how, you know, like, you know, Elvis Presley is considered rock, but if you compare him to what most people consider rock these days, it's like, this does not sound like that at all. But, I mean, in turn, like, to me, the main aspects of lo-fi hip-hop are, like, it has like the types of instrumental sounds that you would hear in a more low energy hip hop song, like not like a high energy hip hop song. But it also contains like either like legitimate or some kind of replication of like the sound of like degrading, like, you know, record vinyl, lower quality radio recording type of stuff. I really should heal, well, especially now that you're poisoned. Whose MP should I use? I guess I'll use Yuna's. But it very much is a thing of like, it's really only recently that people really started to acknowledge that the music he was making was lo-fi hip-hop, because, like, even then, like, I still had never heard the term lo-fi hip-hop until, you know, stuff like the Lo-Fi Hip-Hop Girl on YouTube. What's it called? You know, just until like it kind of became a trend more recently, but recently comparatively, like I know I'm an old man, but so I feel like before that, like people just didn't really know what the fuck to call it. Honestly, I have a feeling that my appreciation for Silent Hill's soundtrack is part of why I enjoy lo-fi hip-hop. Because, I don't know, to me it it feels kind of nostalgic in that way. Oh no! But yeah, this is the job class that,
Yes.
the Beast Tamer one specifically, is the job class that I remember reading about. Apparently, they originally wanted to give Pain a snake as her beast, but they found that animating the snake in 3D, specifically animating its motion, they couldn't figure out how to pull that off. And one, I think I know what they're talking about, because like even when I see snakes in more modern games, when they're animated moving, it tends to look really bad. Like, it's a problem that Pokemon has been having with like Ekans and a lot of the snake like, there's not a lot of snake Pokemon, but anytime they have to animate the snake Pokemon moving, it's always the jankiest animation of any of the janky animation in the Pokemon games. Just because, like, snakes do not move the way anything else moves. Like, you can't just animate, like, a snake walk cycle and then have that work. So, that's why they ultimately decided to give her, I think it was like a crow or like a hawk or something. Oh, that's right. She has to change jobs because of this stupid status effect. At least that animation's really cute. I'll be honest and say I shouldn't worry about putting a music genre, because those are too much. Musical genres are ridiculous in how they're defined. Like, absolutely crazy. But, yeah. Snakes are apparently... Am I going the right way? Do I need to go this way, or do I need to go the other way? I don't know. Let's see what happens if I go this way. Anyway, because it's really hard to animate snakes moving believably, they decided to go with like a hawk or an eagle or some kind of bird of prey. And I think that's why, like, one of the few unique enemies in this game, besides like the final boss and a few of like the human characters that are part of the plot, one of the few new enemies, I think honestly the only new enemy in this game, is like the Gatling gun snake. I think like that Gatling gun snake was like the result of one of their attempts to figure out how they could animate the snake in 3D, because it is a snake in a technical sense, but everything about the way that it functions kind of mitigates the issue with animating it. Because, yes, it's a snake, but it's also stationary. It doesn't move. Once it enters the battle, it stays where it is, and it attacks by shooting you. So they don't have to animate it moving in any way. And so I think that's why that's the only unique enemy, is it was their way of trying to figure out how can we make this snake bullshit work. And the only way they could figure out how to make it work was to make the snake not move, and that's probably what made them decide, you know what, fuck it, we're giving her a bird. Because we know how birds work. I have a feeling I'm... But... Sure... Snakes depend on the ground for them to look believable. So if you're not doing it procedurally, it's hard to convey. Yeah, that's kind of the issue that is present if you look at the now that I think about it, there aren't any snake monsters in games. I think God of War was the only game to pull it off. Yeah, pretty much ever since games have moved to being primarily 3D, snake enemies have become less of a thing because they're a lot harder to animate in 3D convincingly. Like, the only... There are them snake-looking ass mermaids in Fate Grand Order also high. Hello! Isn't Fate Grand Order also 2D though, I think? Because, like, it's a lot easier to pull that shit off in 2D. Because you don't have to worry about, like, things being seen from multiple different camera angles and shit like that, and you don't have to worry so much about, like with 2D you can have things be less realistic, and you can get away with it a lot more. But like, thinking of just in terms of like turn-based RPGs, all the snake enemies I can think of tend to be from older entries in franchises. And as the games go more 3D, they tend to move further and further away from snake characters, or if they do still have them, like there's a couple different snaky enemies in like Shin Megami Tensei and Pokemon, because like that's two franchises that tend to like keep using the monsters from older games because they're popular. They try to like really limit the movement of the snake monsters so that it kind of hides the fact that nobody knows how to animate them well. And by that I mean like it's not really their fault. It's just like it's the way snakes move on the ground makes them really hard to animate. Oh shit. Forgot this guy is still really strong, and he did oversoul. Oh no. No. Oh, I should have been paying more attention. Like NPCs or the map designer and stuff that use quite a lot of 3D. There's a suspension of disbelief in 2D. Yeah. Thank God for autosave. Okay. So... I should probably just heal them now. But it's like, with Shin Megami Tensei, the only time you encounter any of the demons that are snaky, it's like during battle, and they don't like they don't move the way snakes should, and they intentionally try to avoid animating them moving the way snakes would. And the same thing with Pokemon. Like, Shin Megami Tensei and Pokemon take the same approach where they're like, well, we just aren't going to have the characters move during battle very much because it's a turn-based RPG, so you can kind of get away with that. But the one issue with Pokemon is that everyone loves the mechanic that has occurred in some of the 2D Pokemon games, where one of your Pokemon is following you around outside of battle, and people really like that mechanic. And they really want that mechanic to be included in all the games. All the Pokemon games have to have that mechanic. All these other mechanics from all these other games that we really, really love, you know, they've been made into permanent mainstays in every new game. Why hasn't that mechanic been made a permanent mainstay? Why can't we have that in every new Pokemon game? And they've tried it twice that I know of so far in 3D, where you can have the Pokemon follow you around outside of battle. And in both of those games, when it came to animating the snakes, they couldn't figure it out. And it looks really bad when the snake Pokemon are following you. Like, it just looks really bad. Like, absolutely horrible, because you, like Onyx said, you can't, you have to use, like, procedural bullshit in order to make, like, their body has to contort to the shape of the ground as they move, and putting that much extra level of work into just animating the movement of, like, I'm trying to think of how many snake Pokemon there are, like 7 of the, what, 1,000 Pokemon at this point. Like, it's a waste of resources to do that for something that is only going to affect like 7 of the so many Pokemon. And so it's like, okay, we'll add this feature. I hope Ekans isn't one of the Pokemon that you care about, because it's going to look stupid. Because snakes are fucking weird, and most other games just decide to go the route of, like, not including snakes, just because it's less of a headache. But I feel like that's kind of an aspect of 3D that I feel like a lot of people don't realize, that 3D in video games kind of limits you in a lot of ways that you don't expect. Because it's like, snake enemies did used to be, like, really, really common in, like, different, like, especially in, like, JRPGs, there used to be a lot more, like, Nagas and shit like that. But those definitely became a lot less common after the shift to 3D, because people were trying to figure out how to make it work, and they were like, we're not going to put this much effort into developing, you know, animation tech just for this one specific type of animal that is not going to be a consistent and core part of the gameplay. It's just a waste of our resources, so we're just not going to have snakes. Did you know that Ekans backwards is Icons? I don't think that's how that works. I don't think that's true. Oh my god. Well, at least he didn't oversoul this time, so we're good. I have opinions about video game. Oh, damn it, he's doing it now. I knew it was too good to be true. Wait, now hold on. I now remember. Yuna, I think I'm just gonna have you stay in White Mage for now. Just to make sure nobody dies. But like in them survival games like Ark, they do use snake enemies a lot. Do they? I have not seen any... I mean, to be fair, I have not played Ark. Damn it. Like, to be fair, I have not played Ark, so maybe I just didn't see it, but I don't know. And how do they move? Also, I feel like given the Iron Giant with a Yaoi paddle. Don't say that, he'll break our pelvis. Okay. This battle party is not working out for us, so... Pain, we're gonna need you to switch to something else. Animations in this game are so fun. Like, Wiggly. This is something I will have to interrogate my roommate about. Because my roommate is a big fan of art. So I will have to ask him if he can show me any of these snake enemies. I also feel like with Ark, what the who the fuck cured you? Did you cure yourself? You son of a bitch. No, you can't use white magic because you're dead. And you can only use cure. Fine, we'll use Phoenix Downs. I really should just use potions more often. Not like I'm running out of them. Looking it up. This looks bad, Lamau. I think I'm gaslighting myself. Are they wiggly, though? Because I swear to God, I remember. Isn't there a save sphere in here somewhere? This godforsaken cave. They are very... rigged wiggly. I will have to look up some examples. How do they look compared to, Okay, I'm trying to remember what all are the 3D games where the Pokemon follow you. Okay, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, that's one of them. I think that's the one where when Ekans follows you, he stays like coiled up and follows you. And people were not a fan of that. But I think they chose to do that in Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl because there was another 3D Pokemon game where Ekans could follow you, and he didn't do it that way, and it looked even more stupid. I can't remember though. I can't remember what the other game was though. What was it? God damn it. The moral of the story is if you don't like snakes, you're better off, not because snakes are bad, but because no one knows how to animate. And by that I mean people know how to animate them. It just takes a lot more effort, and developers aren't going to put in the effort to make it work. Bitch, are you asking me about Pokemon? I'm asking you to look up the Pokemon and then compare it and be like, okay, yeah, this looks bad, or this looks worse, or whatever. I went the wrong way. There's a save point in here. I know there is. I know there is. Or did they remove it in 10.2? They better not have. How would I look it up? That's why I'm trying to think of, what's the other game that it was in? Because, like, if you look up Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, Ekans walk animation, that would be best. Because, like I said, in that one, he's just coiled up. That's not... That was a thing they did specifically to avoid the fact that they couldn't make it work. We can look up, like, Ekans walk animation. Pokemon Snake Dash. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I'm curious now. Oh, arm. Stupid. I hate my limbs. I've been having this weird pain in my right arm. I've been having these weird thoughts lately. Like, is any of this for real or not? But anyway, so I've been having this pain in my right arm. It's really annoying. On Ekans walk animation. Aha! How did this walk Oh, right. It was the Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Yeah, because in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, they just did like a sort of walk cycle animation, but because it's a snake, he's a longy bitch. Like, as you move and he follows your path, he just kind of like rotates on the ground, and it looks really silly. But then in order to avoid that, in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, he follows you around by just he's coiled up and he just kind of slides along the ground, and that also looks silly. Both look silly, is the moral of the story. The moral of the story is animating sucks. It's way more work than people realize. And when it comes to video games in particular, a lot of things in video games you can't animate because things need to be able to change based on what's happening in the game. because it's not a movie. You can't just animate it and call it a day. The animations play according to like what the player is doing and what the enemies are doing, and all of the gameplay conditions are constantly changing what's happening. And so you can't just animate everything in one go and hope for the best. And people don't appreciate how much work goes into all that bullshit. Anyway, I'm going to assume that this is not the direction we're supposed to go. Pokemon protag haunted by a purple turd. Ironically, one of the more recent, I guess at this point it's not recent, it was on fucking 360. I'm an old man. Take me out back and shoot me. But there's an enemy in Blue Dragon. It was their common enemy. It was like that game's version of the cute little blue slime from Dragon Quest. It was called the Poop Snake. And it was stupid. Wow, I was expecting more recent things, not Blue Dragon. I genuinely am struggling to think of, like, snakes in 3D video games. Like, most of the ones I can think of are things like, Ekans and the Pokemon and stuff. Like, things that are, like, grandfather claused in because they were designed in the 2D versions of the franchise, and the franchise is still going. Like, those are the only things I can think of. Stupid, couldn't be me. I think Dragon Quest also, in their 3D iterations, has some snake enemies. But Dragon Quest also does the same thing that Shin Megami Tensei does, where they just, like, intentionally avoid animating the enemies walking around as much as possible, so it's not as noticeable. But, like, with this game specifically, even though it is a turn-based RPG, they were trying to animate everything moving around the battle in a naturalistic way. And so, like, you couldn't really, since they couldn't do that, they couldn't figure that out with the snake, and they didn't want to remove that aspect of the battles, they just decided to remove the snake instead. Also, like, Harry Styles can talk to them. You mean Harry Potter? But what about that new Harry Potter? Yeah, okay. What about the new Harry Potter game? I guess that would mean that there probably are snakes in that game. Now that you mention it. Since snakes are like an important part of the lore in Harry Potter. I don't know, I haven't really been paying attention to that game. So the Basilisk was just ahead. That's another thing, is a lot of the times they'll make, if they do put a snake in something, they'll make, like, it'll be a giant snake, so that the snake itself does not have to move. Like, it will just stay, like, in a stationary place, and it will just, like, move its head to attack you, or stuff like that. I really feel like I don't know where I'm supposed to be going. Where is... Well, I guess it's okay, because we're level grinding. We need to level grind. Pain! They're like both British, so like, I was, yep, they're the same. To be fair, British people are a hive mind. Okay. Let's bring our friend back from the dead. Because even though she's a Dark Knight, doesn't mean we actually feel like dealing with that bullshit. Okay, so this is the hot springs. We don't need to be here. How are we doing abilities-wise? Okay. So these are like... These are like elemental attacks. Okay, so like this is a water one, lightning one, fire one. One of them... Oh wait, this one's ice. That's got the little dash on it. And which one of these is water? Okay, this one's water. Wait, is that the kanji they use for fire type? It must be. Interesting. Water damage. That's fine. You can keep learning those, I suppose. Except, what's this? What do these abilities do? This one says something about HP. So, what does this do? What does this do? I need to know. Because these might appeal to me way more than the elemental damage does. Nikata. HP. Oh. Okay, that's an HP restoring one. So, this one. Oh shit, never mind, we're gonna learn that. This one heals your HP as you walk. So yeah, we're gonna learn that. You're gonna learn that. Oh, my body. Is the world element type based on the world snake? No, now that you say that, that would make sense. Like, that is one type in a video game that I'm still confused about. Like, I love Tokyo After School Summoners, but what the fuck is world type? What does that mean? I have no idea what that means. Baloo, stop being adorable. Never! I refuse. I think I want you to keep learning all your passives, because I like passive abilities. I think in Hosamo, world units are the ones that can remember other loops. I think they are called pillars. I mean, it makes sense from a lore standpoint. It's just confusing how that plays into the elemental system. And it also makes me feel like, okay, at what point do you become world type, if that makes sense, you know? I mean, there's a chart. Well, I don't know. I feel like it's one of those things where I just have to be like, whatever, it makes sense because they said so. Because, like, usually when it comes to, like, elemental strengths and weaknesses and stuff, I can like, bullshit some kind of reason for why. For, like, why, you know, this element is strong to this one weak to this one absorbs this one, blah 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 blah. But with world, I don't know. I just kind of have to accept that it's like, it's because the story said that world is, you know, a category given to characters who are beyond comprehension, I guess. Like, I don't know. Kind of just have to accept it, I guess. I don't know. I know that Pokemon gets shit on for their elemental bullshit being complicated, and there's definitely more types in Pokemon, but with Pokemon I can usually be like, okay, I understand the logic for why this type is strong against this type. Even if it's a stretch, I can at least understand what the thought process behind it is. But with world type, there's nothing about it that really, I don't know. I just don't know. Is there still nothing in here? There's still nothing in here. Bye. Like in FGO 2, girl once said to have thrown a snowball with friends, and yep, she's a summer. Mr. Worldwide World Type Unit. I hope not. I hope that's not what it means. Damn it. Me too, Riku. I also feel exhausted by everything around me. Okay, there we go. Is this... I appreciate that they did add extra geometry to this area. I mean, they didn't add a lot of unique maps to... Oh, God damn it. They didn't add a lot of unique maps to this game. But I do like this location. Like the part of Mount Gagaset that you do in the beginning of the game, it looks really cool. I like it. I like this temple-y thing. It's neat. But I don't like that I don't know which direction I'm supposed to go when I'm in Mount Gagaset anymore. Because it's not like... Because it's still, like... It's still designed as, like, a completely different thing from the rest of Mount Gagaset. It's not like, oh, I have all this different area to explore. It's like, I have 2 different hallways to explore. Probably should explore the whole area, though. There might be items. So let's go back down. The more I listen to it, the more I realize PS2 and PS1 music has a lot of breakcore. Maybe it was the sound of the era, and I'm starting to like it. Ain't this the first area? Yes, this is the very first area in the game. And this is... I think this is the first time we've come back here, really. Because, like, all the other times that we've come back to Mount Gagaset, we've just stuck in like, any of the other chapters of this game, other than the very opening sequence. The only times we've ever come to Mount Gagaset, it's just been relegated to, like, the maps from the original game. So... Mount Gagaset. You stop that right now, young lady. Don't you be saying that stuff. Good, wholesome Christian channel. Ooh. Ow. Jerk. Fall on your ass. You too, girl. Hey, I listen to Christian music. It plays Lana Del Rey music. Oh my god. You should... Giant enemy... Oh, okay, never mind. Apparently he still has the exact same amount of HP he did when we fought him the first time. So, we're good. Um, that was a boss from this area, and I guess they just decided to make it a regular enemy encounter, but they didn't make him level up at all, even though I think the enemies do scale a little bit in this game. Just because, like, you're able to go to all the different parts of the map from the beginning of the game. So I think the enemies do scale. A little. Need to go down, don't we? It was having a heart attack when it attacked you. Anyway, what I was gonna say is that your comment about how you listen to Christian music and then saying Lana Del Rey as an example of Christian music, very similar energy to Karina's insistence that despite not being religious, she is still allowed to make jokes about Christianity because she is in some way participating in Christian I guess culture by listening to Judas by Lady Gaga. What? There was an episode a while ago where they were making, it was the ass eating store episode. They were making jokes and they were making a bunch of jokes about Christianity, I guess. And they were like, okay, look, we're Christian, so we're allowed to make these jokes, except Nathan, who is Jewish, but it's okay. And her reasoning was, yeah, I've been to a church before, and I love Judas by Lady Gaga. So that was her claim to Christianity being her culture, and therefore she was allowed to make jokes about it. I thought your mom said that. I misheard. No, God, no. My parents would never. I cannot even imagine a universe in which my parents listen to Judas by Lady Gaga. Oh my god. The same parents who were convinced that Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering and Pokemon and every anime, including Sailor Moon, were all of the devil listening to Judas by Lady Gaga. That would be quite a mental condition. Oh my god. These enemies are starting to piss me off. Look how much they are constantly killing our girls. I wish you'd stop that. That's why I said, what? Boris. At least in Japanese, his name is kind of a pun. Because in Japanese, his name is Boris Spider, whereas in the English version, his name is literally just Boris. They just named him Boris.
Yay!
I agree, Riku. Yay, indeed. I know I can get to that treasure chest, but I don't know how I can. I miss orange armpits. I do too, but I also wish they were hairy. Still, I will never not be heartbroken that our boy Orin is completely clean-shaven pits. Just truly a sin. Look, I can fix him. I can make him grow armpit hair. Look at this environment. This is really fucking pretty. I technically know how they pull off reflections in these low poly video games. And I guess, like, I guess you could kind of say it breaks the immersion, but at the same time, like, I don't really care. Like, it just looks pretty. Look at this place. This looks super nice. All right. So, turns out, completely the wrong way. That's fine. We need to level grind anyway. That's the main reason why we're playing today. Is to level grind. Baby, I'm right here. You know exactly where I am. You were just here 2 seconds ago. You were literally sitting right here on this desk. Yes, I'm looking at you. Bastard. Spoiled little shit. You have never known a day of struggle in your life. And yet you are so whiny. I guess let's go back. We got the walking HP ability. I'd imagine if enemies could fall off just in battle. That would be kind of funny. I feel like in most other turn-based RPGs that wouldn't be as much of an issue, but since this one actually does use, like, hitboxes to an extent, since, like, you know, they want to have the characters moving around the battle and have it look organic and shit. Like, I feel like if an enemy fell off the battle, like, no one would be able to hit it, and the battle would just keep going in infinity. I actually wonder if it's possible for that to happen. No, they die when they fall off. I mean, I'm saying, like, if it was something where, like, it happened by accident. Because since obviously the enemies can't fall off, if it were something we were to encounter, it would be because the game fucked up. Which, this game is unfortunately prone to fucking up, as we have all seen. So... Gotta heal our girl. Guessing that the gain HP when you walk thing only applies to Yuna. Because I have to. You are a bastard. But, like, I have to imagine it only applies to Yuna, that it only applies when she has that job equipped. Like, it would be awesome if unlocking that ability was just like a permanent character buff, but I really don't think it is. Pretty sure it only applies, like, while you're in the Beast Tamer form. Which does make me wonder. I thought the Beast Tamer job was one of the ones where, because each of the girls has a different little animal friend, like all the abilities are different. So, do the other girls not get that ability as Beast Tamer? I'll have to check. I'll check that once this battle's over. It's probably something where, like, the abilities that have the name of their little animal friend in the name of the ability itself are the ones that are exclusive to them, and then the healing while walking probably isn't exclusive. Because, let's see. Haruku, full HP. Okay, yeah. She has the HP ability as well, but her pet is Iki. What's her pet again? I can't remember. What animal is it? And then I know Ames is a bird. Its name is Furori Poison. So hers are status ailments. Oh, and Furori Hiru. Furori Rikaba? So hers is status effects and healing, which is an interesting combination. It seems like all of them have some healing capabilities. Okay. Elemental damage and a little bit of healing, and then hers seems like it is doing damage while also inflicting a status effect. Except this one over here is not a status effect, it's like stealing an item. So it's like hers is like hers is status effect and other thing, and then Heinz is seems like it's just status effect so far. Why does she have? Why do you? I don't eat. The jobs that are different between the girls confuse me a bit. Oh. Oh. Hello. I'm going this way. I'm going this way. Okay. We finally got the treasure chest. I have a feeling that since we left this here since the beginning of the game, that it's probably not a very good piece of equipment, but you know, whatever. Man, all this talk about, I know it's been a while ago since we were talking about it, but talking about Silent Hill 2 kind of makes me want to... I don't want to play Silent Hill 2. It's something I've been thinking about because I do want to play the old Silent Hill games. Hi, Rabiel. How you doing? Welcome to the club. But, like, I would like to play the Silent Hill games at some point. And I've been thinking about them lately. And also, it would be something that I could play where I wouldn't really have much of an incentive to play it in Japanese, so it would be easier for people to, you know, enjoy the stream more, because the voice acting is in English regardless of which version of the game you play, so there's just not really much of a point in playing it in Japanese. So. I'm good. That's good to hear. Glad that you are good. Sigh. Today is my birthday, actually. Just got back from dinner with family. That's cool. I hope you had a good... You had a wonderful birthmas. Yeah, it froze. Thankfully, I just saved, so... Not too big of a deal. Birthmas? It's a thing that they say on an old episode of Family Guy? Yeah, Family Guy. There's an episode where a character says the word birthmas, and I thought it was funny, so I started saying it. So, because I'm uncultured swine, and Family Guy makes me laugh, and you can judge me for that all you want, and I don't care. Okay. Well... I'm going to say that I'm probably going to... Well, this will probably be the end of the stream, like, technically. But... So will you enter Silent Hill's hole in the future? Yes, I do plan on it. And in fact, since I do still have a little bit more time that I was planning on streaming for, and the game has crashed. Thankfully, we didn't lose too much progress, because like I said, we did just save. Yeah, I know that Final Fantasy X-2 is not responding. I'm aware. Thank you for telling me. Cat? That is a microphone. You do not need to rub your body on it. I'd rather explore other holes. I mean, wouldn't we all? Okay. Stop. You do not need to be touching everything on my desk. You especially. You do not know your own strength. And you're clumsy. So you do not need to be up here. Hold on, I'm checking some things. Oh god, I'm gonna sneeze. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Okay, hold on. since we still have a little bit of time. ES2. Of course, you need to update. Do it quickly. Quickly. Finish updating. Do it, do it, do it. Do it, do it, do it. Do it. Okay. Oh, there you are. You're not where I told you to go, but you're here. Okay. You are 4x3. So we're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do with your resolution. Let's see. Does that look right? Does that look centered to everybody? I think that's centered. Oh, we're gonna get a video.
James, honey, did something happen to you? After we got separated in that long hallway?
God,
Are you
this
confusing
game.
me with someone else?
Bye, SBT.
You were always so forgetful. Remember that time in the hotel?
Maria?
You said you took everything, but you forgot that videotape we made. I wonder if it's still there.
How do you know about that? Aren't you Maria?
Is this the post New Game Plus intro? It shouldn't be. I don't have a save file for well, I don't really have a save file at all. I don't think I played it at all. Just got the emulator set up. And before anyone asks, yes, I do own a physical copy of this game. Therefore, contrary to what Nintendo and many other corporations would like you to believe about emulation, I am fully within my legal right to emulate this video game. Because I own... Not only do I own a physical copy of this game for the PlayStation 2, but I own 2 PlayStation 2 consoles, and as such, I am, according to United States law, fully within my legal right to emulate this game on my computer. And let no one say otherwise. But is the audio coming through? It looks like the audio is coming through on my mixer. It looks like it's okay, good. just want to test it a bit, make sure that, because I have a pretty good computer. In theory, it shouldn't be much of a problem. But unfortunately, since emulating just takes a lot more hardware power than like running a game natively on your computer. Like even games that like, don't know if I'm supposed to hear people talking right now. No one's talking. It's just music right now, because this is like one of those compilation videos where they just kind of have like scenes from the game and music playing in the background, but none of the scenes have any of their actual audio playing. But since emulating takes a lot more work than just like running a game natively, even a game that's like really old and not that graphically intensive like this is more intensive on your computer than like, just running a more modern game natively. So I think I should be able to play this game and stream it at the same time. I think. The New Game Plus intro adds the voices. It has some major spoilers, so that's why I asked. Yeah, no, I don't have if that's the case, then that wouldn't have played because I don't have a save file for it yet. For some reason, I think it's because like they knew people would be buying the special edition who had already bought the original. You don't have to beat the game in order to play Born with a Wish, even though it takes place after the main game. Or not, it takes place after, it actually takes place before, but you're not supposed to play it until after you beat the main game. Did you not know that, fake Silent Hill fan? I've never played the game New Game Plus. Every time I've ever played it, I've always started a new save. And also have not played Silent Hill 2 as much as I've played Silent Hill 3. Silent Hill 3 is the one that I've played the most, because it's my personal favorite of the Silent Hill games. But I haven't worked out all the kinks. Like right here, as you can see, there is some visual bug where the menus, the color of the text is not showing up the way it's supposed to. I technically know a workaround for it, but when I enable the workaround, not only does the rest of the game's graphics not look as good, but it also runs a lot worse. And so that would obviously cause problems when streaming. So I think I'm just going to have to put up with the fact that the color of the fonts don't look right. I don't you ever put your hand on a shit-filled toilet. I mean, in real life, I have unfortunately had to do that due to, clogging happening on occasion. But unlike James, unlike our boy James, it's not something I did without expressing a great amount of disgust, which is part of why Heather is a much more relatable protagonist. Because she does express quite a bit of disgust when she has to do it. But like let me see. I think if I remember correctly, the fix for this particular glitch is to switch to software emulation. So like this is software emulation as opposed to hardware emulation. And when you use software emulation, it fixes the font color, but there's it like here, let me like let's just start a new game. And like if I switch between the two, when I'm running it in hardware mode, I can enable like certain enhancements to like make the resolution higher of like the 3D models and stuff. Like right now, this is software emulation, and when it's software emulation, it's like you can see the jagged edges and stuff because it's rendering stuff as close to legit PS2 standards as possible, and PS2 did not have anti-aliasing at all, and it was always really obvious. And I don't care what anyone says, even when you're playing it on a CRT, you can tell. I don't know why everyone acts like CRTs just magically make anti-aliasing happen. They don't. But when I have it set to a hardware emulation, like this is OpenGL, I can have the resolution bumped up a lot higher, and so like all the jagged edges are gone. And like this way, I'm able to play the game without the jagged edges of the PS2, but I also don't have all of the other downgrades from the quote-unquote HD remaster. Which honestly, like this is how I should have been playing Final Fantasy X and X-2 as well, because again, I own both of those games on the PS2, and I own multiple copies of the HD remaster as well, and I own the consoles for both of those. So again, fully within my legal right to emulate them. Tank controls feel so weird after you've just been playing a game without tank controls. So anyway, yeah. So I just wanted to test this out. Turns out everyone had bad vision back then. Because I'm thinking about possibly starting to play this game. And starting to play some of the Silent Hill games. I would like to, because I like them. They are fun. But anyway, like I said, I think that's about it for our stream. So I'm gonna go now. Thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.